What's up, everyone? Back at you with another video on the Nook job site built by Bailey's channel. Thanks for stopping by. This is going to be an exciting video because we are finally running our underground line to our home that we're building called the Nook. Again, if you haven't checked out the other videos on this playlist, check them out now. Come back to this video or just watch this. Hit the thumbs up, give us some love, because this one's gonna be cool. We are running massive underground wire because of the distance from our service mast to the building envelope itself in order to get enough amperage on the home. This has been a thorn in all of our sides, but I'm really excited because today we have a friend of mine, Casey Thompson, who's also a master electrician, that's been working hard with us to get this project, part of the project, ready to go, and finally we are here this morning to get this line dropped. It's gonna take an army of us because we have a spool of copper wire that's as big as my leg, 1,400 pounds worth, that we're gonna have to run with a skid steer forklift system and some wire jacks from the top of the hill all the way back down into about a 600-foot trench. From here all the way to our service mast is 600 feet. Then we get to go ahead and hook up our service panel and at the service mast, so we actually have power and no longer have to run off a generator to work here at the Nook. Super excited because you don't know how long it's been for us to try and get this done. It's been a minor nightmare, but here we are. So we're going to show you guys how we're going to do this. The trench itself was another nightmare, but it's all done. We'll probably have to do a little bit of clean out because we've got snow on and off every time we come up here. Obviously we're in the mountains. And we're going to check for depth as we move along. We have to have a minimum of 24 inches unless we run it in giant conduit. We don't want to do that. We're trying to avoid that. There are a couple sticky spots that have rock in the trench that we couldn't excavate any further. So as we're going along, I'm going to check and see if that's just a small, shallow piece of rock I can break with my breaker, or if it's part of a bigger spline of granite that we're going to have to go ahead and bring more dirt down into that area and bring our grade up to meet our 24-inch requirement. Or we're going to have sections of this wire that are going to have to be run into a giant piece of conduit. Again, we're trying to avoid that. So without further ado, everyone's here. Let's finally get going. All right, so as I explained, because of the weight of the direct burial cable we're using and because of the terrain, we were, one, not able to drive a trailer up or down the area that our trench is in, and two, we can't just carry it down the hill because it weighs over 1,400 pounds. So we're using a skid steer with a forklift attachment and some wire jacks, as you'll see right here, those green things, and we set that spool of wire on the wire jacks and then take the lead of the wire and we go ahead and walk it down the hill. Now, one guy by himself, physically, unless you're Superman, can actually walk this wire down the hill by itself. So this wire here, as I explained a little bit earlier, or if you saw in the text, it's 4 wires. We've got 2 hot leads. We've got a neutral that's all on this spool, and then we have a ground wire, which is actually not all that heavy and can be manipulated by one person. I actually drug most of the copper or the ground wire down myself, but this spool needed an army, at least a small one. So we had Casey, our master electrician. We had Evan here actually on site with us as well. And then our crew, plus we had a couple guys that were coming up to look at the Nook that actually jumped out of their truck and helped us as well. There's definitely some tumbles that were going on the way down the hill as we were walking down. Luckily, it was a day in which we didn't have much snow in over a week up here. As you can see, we actually had some melt, and it was warmer than normal. And that was all a blessing in disguise to get all of this direct burial cable in the trench, because if we were working in normal winter conditions, as we were a couple days later, then it would have been much more troublesome. So as you can see, we started down the hill, pulling that line. The further away we got, the heavier it got, the more difficult it got to manipulate, and our insulation guys actually jumped in to help, as you can see right here. And like I said, we had a couple guys that were coming to look at the Nook just on a whim, and there's a white truck pulling up here that jumped out of their truck to help us as well. And actually that was really, really, really beneficial because holy moly, that wire was heavy. Once we got most of the wire in the trench, we ran it back up around the trench on the back end of the Nook itself and made sure that we had enough lead on all of the wire to get it up in both panels, the panel at the service mast and the panel on the house itself. From there, Casey and I worked on both panels, getting the wire in there, and that was a beast in itself because, again, that wire's super thick and super heavy. So much more difficult than normal service line entrance work as it would be, but we got it done. Okay, next step was actually setting the ground rods at both panels. As you can see here, Casey is holding the first ground rod that we had to drive 4 feet into the ground, actually 8 feet, it's an 8-foot stick, and we had to get it all the way down into the ground. 4 feet was our frost line, so we had a couple times where it was definitely fighting us. And again, this is not ideal conditions to do the service work in, but this is the cards that we were dealt. So use a hammer drill, drive that ground rod in, and sometimes a sledgehammer. Got that done. Okay, first ground rod out of the way down here at the meter service combo at the service mast itself. Next step was to go ahead and land our leads and our ground on the panel down here, and that was certainly fun, especially running it up in through the gray PVC. Just manipulating this wire is definitely, it's the biggest wire I've ever worked with, and it was definitely a workout. Certainly required a little bit of manipulation, also a thinking ahead just to getting everything in there. But we got to figure it out thanks to the big brain of Casey Thompson. Appreciate all the help that he brought to us on this day. So as you can see here, we're going ahead and we're running all 4 of our lines. So our 2 hots, our neutral, and our ground, which is the green one, into the gray PVC, then manipulate that pipe up to the panel with all of our lines in there. And trust me, this was a pain in the ass, to be nice. But we did get it done, working real hard, taking breaks, moving some dirt around. Again, like I said, it was really, 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 really a blessing in disguise to have such an unusually warm day with absolutely no snow really to work around at all, because a couple of days later another storm came in, and as you guys saw on Instagram, I got kind of smashed trying to get all that snow out of the trench to get the tracer tape in, but we got it done. Okay, once all the work down at the road was finished, we walked our way back up to the building envelope itself and to the service panel on the back of the Nook. As you can see right there, that is our service panel, and we are now preparing to run all 4 of our lines back into this panel to connect our service and get power into the Nook finally. So again, we have to run 2 ground rods back here. Very, 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 very fun because we're still breaking that 4-foot frost line, and we actually had a 12-inch frost line as well to break through. So it was a combination of a hammer drill and a ground rod attachment, a lot of muscle, a lot of weight, mostly from Casey because I don't weigh a whole lot, and definitely some sledgehammer work itself as well. Okay, once that part of the workout was over, then it was on to running all 4 wires back into the gray PVC that attaches to the service panel, as you saw down at the road as well. Again, same sort of manipulation, definitely a bicep, tricep back, upper shoulders workout. Again, if you guys want to stay in shape, being a contractor of some sort is certainly a good way to do it every single day. I wouldn't recommend doing this every single day because it'll kick your ass. But we got everything into the panel. Then it was on to making sure we got our conduit, our PVC connected to the panel, sealed up, glued up, and then we go ahead and drop our 2 leads, our neutral and our ground, into the panel. As you can see here, having a lot of fun bending everything in there, cutting the wires to length and landing them on the lugs into the entrance of the service panel itself. This was certainly a 2-man job working at both panels. I let Casey take the lead on this. Obviously, he's the master electrician. I do know how to wire panels, but I am not a licensed electrician. So if you're trying to do this work yourself, do not do it yourself unless you are a licensed electrician. And especially if you're working this kind of wire and you are a licensed electrician, make sure you get some help, because even just bending it and marking where we needed to cut to get everything landed correctly and cleanly onto every lug that needed to be hit, it was definitely a workout and definitely required a second set of hands, maybe even a third set, depending on what we were trying to get done. But all in all, we got that done at both panels. We landed everything. It was nice and tidy. Casey did a great job. I appreciate all his help and appreciated all the help from all the guys that showed up that day to help us get the underground electrical done. Long time coming. And as you can see here, doing the final work into the panel, getting our ground done. Evan popping in the window just to make sure that we're getting close as we're trying to beat the sun here this day as well. We got everything completed and we passed our underground. Okay, so we got all the line laid. We got all of our connections made at both panels, down at the road on the service panel post, and then back at the service panel on the house as well. We talked about this before in other videos. We're having a service drop of about 50-ish amps or so. Final calculations are going to be done by Casey because I don't remember exactly what they were. But we have to have that provided to the state inspector as well. Last piece of the puzzle here before we can actually backfill, as we've already had our inspection, the one more thing we need to do is drop our tracer tape into our trench and run that tracer tape from one panel all the way to the other one and bring those up against the conduit, or the PVC that's on both of those panels, so the inspector can make sure that we have that in there. That tracer tape allows somebody that's going out to mark line, in case they're going to be digging, to identify that there's underground burial line in that location. Works kind of similar to like Reco technology and stuff like that, if you guys are familiar with avalanche products and avalanche equipment, safety equipment. Kind of the same kind of deal. It's going to be able to send a signal or alert somebody that there's underground cable in that location, and that's going to be run, as I said, all the way through the trench. Granted, how big the copper line that we ran is, a metal detector would certainly pick it up as well, but we're going to go ahead and put that in there. So first thing I got to do is, because we've had some more snow come in since the other day when we dropped all of our line, is I got to clean the trench out so I get that tape on top of the wire, and I'm going to run that 600 feet all the way back down to one service panel to the other. So let's get started.
Might not wanna get close. We a little wild war, covered in tattoos. Run it up, taking all the views. Stepping on place, feeling the fear. I know you feeling it in the air. Whole squad wearing all black. Motivation's looking real bad. We back to the bone, raising a fire alone. We ain't never needed nobody. Give me 6 feet, this is my party. Ain't got no feelings, we heartless. Take a peek inside the darkness. Blow up the spot, then we run it. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for me. Tonight may get a little crazy.
Alright guys, that's it. Underground done. About to backfill, get this thing powered up, and now we don't have to use the generator anymore. Hopefully that video helped you in some way, or at least you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If this is your first time to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you think the content might be useful in the future. Construction, home building, real estate, And everything entrepreneurial is on this channel. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for getting to the end of this video. I appreciate it. Until next time, guys, keep building.